Alright, so I'm just going to explain some differences between the original version of the Nike Plus running app and our enhanced prototype. One of the main differences is in the old app, we had a hamburger menu on the left side to navigate through all the menus and screens. We found that this was a little clumsy and could be more intuitive. So we decided to replace all of those buttons with a consolidated tab menu on the top. When you start the app, you're presented with a series of tabs on the top of the screen, all mimicking functions that exist in the hamburger menu in the original app. This means that it's much easier to just simply navigate to wherever you need to be inside of the app, and also to go home very quickly. Another big change that we implemented is the settings menu can now be easily accessed by pressing this gear cog icon in the upper right corner. Go ahead and click on that. One feature that some users requested was an easy way to change units of measure, so we added that in this new settings feature, and there you go. You could change the units of measure from English to metric and back. Go back to the main screen. We also fundamentally changed the way that you begin runs in individual running sessions. We found the way that the original app did it was a bit clumsy and didn't allow for enough detail and fine-tuning on the user's part. We changed the wording from what's called in the original app a basic run, which is basically a run with no particular settings in terms of time and distance, to what we call a free run, to be a little less confusing and more direct about its purpose and functionality. We go to begin run. We see the free run option, which has been renamed. Also, now when the user goes to distance run, we can select exactly what distance we'd like to run. Also, when we go to time run, we could choose increments of time that aren't exactly divisible by 5. This is different from the old app, which made you run exactly in terms of 5-minute increments. So here, I would like to run 13 minutes. And there you go. With the new app, that's possible. And let's start the run. Get ready, run. We also redesigned the way that users see their progress in the middle of a run. So here we have our route. The little blue pin represents where our run is currently at. And we can also see the direction we need to run and how to finish. We also have time, miles ran, and pace neatly outlined in the bottom. The old way of viewing your progress was to go to the activity bar. But we found that this interface was a bit misleading and confusing for users and not exactly what they wanted. We replaced this whole tab with something we call the Me screen, which shows you all your statistics and measurements we think are useful. Here it is. Here is your Me screen. We see a graph at the bottom, and we could actually break down our runs. They're represented by this new measurement system that we created just for the app. We could see our average pace, our distance, and if we go to a different run and click on one particular bar, we could actually see it updated at the bottom. And we could just cycle through our different runs and see all this detailed information which was not available beforehand. When you select a different bar in the graph, it is lit up as a feature we added to make it a lot more intuitive to notice your progress. Also, we removed the whole notion of active and total calories and just remained with a simple calories burned today metric, which is something that we discovered is more useful to understand in our heuristics process. We also added some new features in the challenges section. So here's a new revamped challenges menu, which is more simplified and straight to the point. We could challenge a friend or challenge yourself in the bottom. So first, let's go ahead and challenge yourself. You're presented with your current goals, your current challenges, and your past ones. Adding a new one is as simple as adding in the top right, clicking on the plus button, and now we're here. Go ahead and set these parameters, and you can just start it. One of the most interesting new features is challenge a friend. Here we could go ahead and create a challenge that others could see, and we could potentially challenge them later. After we've created a challenge for our friends, we could go ahead and invite them in the new friends menu. We could go here and see who's online, who would like to race. We see that Elon Mello is online, so I'll go ahead and click on this challenge now button and see if he would like to race me. We also revamped the way that we challenge. So here we have a map, and I'm going to go ahead and say I want the race to end right around here. And now we have a start and end pin, which is very easy to select and finish. So I'm going to select that. There we go. And I'm going to send the challenge to Elon and see if he would like to accept. And he accepted. So I'm going to go ahead and initiate the challenge. And here we are. This is a completely new way of looking at the race. We have on the top me, my miles, my pace, my ranking. On the bottom, the person I'm racing. You see his ranking, second, miles, and pace. So this is a really fun interactive way to keep track of the race, almost like a video game, and very engaging, and a good way to encourage you to work out and invite your friends to these challenges. So all in all, we changed everything from the smallest to the largest things. We changed the entire menu and how to navigate. We learned from our users and found that some things should be always present, such as the settings. We also introduced higher levels of control for people seeking to have a very specific type of run. Made the progress menu much more interactive and much more tailor-fit for each particular user. Remade the friends menu and made the challenges a bit more engaging and easier to use.